Remains discovered of a Neanderthal girl whose parents were two different species of human. This is according to Evening Standard. The 90,000-year-old remains of a teenage girl is the first evidence of interbreeding between two different species of early humans, scientists revealed. Let's remember we've had a lot of extinction level events that have done away with most of life on Earth and in the seas, whether it's botany or zoology. And a lot of species have become extinct either by, for example, comet strikes or volcanic events. Now, remains discovered during an archaeological dig in Siberia have been confirmed as a hominin hybrid between Neanderthals and another sister species of Homo sapiens called the denisovans. The denisovans, a girl known as Denisova 11, was believed to be 13 years old when she died. Her remains were excavated from a cave in Siberia back in 2012, among other Denisovan bones. Now we know that these hominids used to live in caves, and they had lit fire. They used the caves, of course, as homes, their homes. Now, paleogeneticist Vivian Sloan, who made the discovery, initially believed she must have contaminated her sample. This is what she told National Geographic, but after 6 separate tests, the find was confirmed. Ms. Sloan, whose team reported their findings in journal Nature yesterday, this is, of course, an old article from 2018, but not so old. She said, "We knew from previous studies that Neanderthals and Denisovans must have occasionally had children together, but I never thought we would be so lucky to find an actual offspring of the two groups," she said. All evidence of Denisovans has come from the same Siberian cave where the hybrid girl was found in 2012. The girl's bone fragments were initially cast aside by archaeologists among a mass of other bones from the cave, including lions, bears, and even hyenas. It wasn't until Samantha Brown of the University of Oxford came to the study that she found the hominin, leading Mrs. Sloan to investigate it. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box. This is one of the reconstructions of what they believed such a person, a humanoid, would have looked like. Now, she said the findings of the first generation Neanderthal Denisovan offspring among the small number of archaic specimens sequenced to date suggests that mixing between late Pleistocene hominin groups was common when they met. It's striking that we find this Neanderthal Denisovan child among the handful of ancient individuals whose genomes have been sequenced, said Svante Pabo, director of Department of Evolutionary Genetics at the Leipzig Institute. He was the lead author of the study. Neanderthals and Denisovans may not have had many opportunities to meet, but when they did, they must have made it frequently, much more so than previously thought, said Mr. Pabo. Now, the early women, Homo neanderthalensis, are relatively recent human predecessors, ruling an area that covered Central Asia, Europe, and the south of England from around 100,000 to 40,000 BC, so it makes them our closest relatives in the hominin family tree. And they often had larger brains than Homo sapiens and were the first human species to make tools out of bones. It's believed they were all but wiped out by the spread of Homo sapiens across the planet around 28,000 years ago, with only small pockets of the iconic cavemen surviving and interbreeding with Homo sapiens, and this accounts for around 1 to 2% of the Neanderthal genes in the DNA of European people. Now let's remember what else happened 28,000 years ago. It was the supervolcanic eruption of the Taupo volcano of New Zealand. That was the last super eruption of a volcano that happened. And now geologists have told us that they believe that a supervolcanic eruption happens about every 17,000 years, and they said that we're basically overdue 10,000 years for a volcanic super eruption. Now that super eruption, from what anthropologists have told us from past videos, from articles that I've posted, the anthropologists told us that they believe that there were only 2,000 humans on Earth alive after that catastrophic extinction level event of the Taupo volcano, of the supervolcano of New Zealand that erupted 28,000 years ago. So here they say it's believed they were all wiped out by the spread of Homo sapiens across the planet around 28,000 years ago. So that's a matching date here. Now, this newly discovered girl actually had a denisovan father, not Homo sapiens. The first denisovan DNA was only discovered in 2010 at the Denisova cave in Siberia's Altai Mountains, and the sister species, quote unquote, is believed to be an offshoot from an archaic hominin over 1 million years ago. This is on Standard UK. So this is one of the samples of the tooth, the molar from that girl that we talked of, the cave here, the Denisovan cave, the Altai Mountains. Nuclear DNA indicates close affinities with Neanderthals. The cave was also periodically inhabited by Neanderthals, but unclear whether Neanderthals and Denisovans ever cohabited in that cave. The Denisovans apparently interbred with modern humans, with the highest percentages, roughly 5%, occurring in Melanesians, Aboriginal Australians, and Filipino Negrotis. The distribution suggests that there were Denisovan populations across Eurasia, the Philippines, New Guinea, and/or Australia, but it's unconfirmed. Introgression into modern humans may have occurred as recently as 30,000 years ago in New Guinea. In fact, if correct, might indicate population persisted as late as 14,500 years ago. There's also evidence of interbreeding with the Altai Neanderthal population, about 17% Denisovan genome. Now let's remember what happened around 13,000 years ago was the Clovis comet that put an end to the Clovis culture in North America. A lot of fauna and flora, the woolly mammoths and sloths went extinct as well. And that was a huge comet that split into 7 pieces about a mile wide, plus the debris of that. So that happened about 13,000 years ago. This is the Denisova cave right there. This is Himalayas. And let's go, this is the cave right there as we see. And it talks about the woman X. Okay, that's all right. We spoke about that already. And the evolution of the geographic spread of Denisovans as compared with Neanderthal, Homo heidelbergensis, and Homo erectus. Okay, this is a Denisovan cave. They believe that it was this route somehow that they took, basically from Russia, Siberia, all the way to Indonesia, and what can we say? Maybe even Australia, New Zealand. Homo heidelbergensis and Neanderthal going into Denisovan, with Denisovan into that same region. So please leave your comments about this. I think this is fascinating. Anything we know about our past, of course, enriches us even all the more if we know about our past history. So this is on Wikipedia, and I'll leave links below for you for this. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support.